Abaticola and Ferrari discuss everything. With Matt Abaticola.
Son, your ego is writing checks your body can't cash.
I'm sorry I ruined your New Year's Eve party. She tastes like cigarettes.
And Jason Ferrari.
I'm very important. I have many leather-bound books, and my apartment smells of rich mahogany.
Hallelujah! Holy shit! Where's the Tylenol?
Two complete nincompoops with microphones and access to the World Wide Web. Presented by Mickey Finn's Brewery in Libertyville, Lake County's oldest brew pub. Now, here are your hosts for this shit show, Abaticola and Ferrari.
Hello there, podcast friends, and welcome into another episode of Abaticola Ferrari Discuss Everything. It's the AFDE show. He's Jason Ferrari. I'm Matt Abaticola. Thanks for downloading the program and being a faithful listener of the show. This is episode number 37. It's called Senator Biscuit, and we're glad to have you along for the ride. It is for us Thursday, May 24th. You'll be listening a bit later on. Some big news out of the NFL. We'll get into all that. We want to get into our thoughts and opinions on it. I have a great story for you my afternoon. It took a turn for the negative on the way out here to Jason's tonight, and then it ended up being a positive for me.
That's an interesting pivot.
Yeah, it was really great. I think it was really meant to be, and it was really, really good time that I had. So we'll tell that story too, just a little bit. Of course, we are brought to you by our very good friends at Mickey Finn's Brewery. Check them out at mickeyfinnsbrewery.com. Fantastic food, fantastic beer brewed there right on site. They are the oldest brew pub in the state of Illinois, and great people. Live entertainment every Friday and Saturday night. Brian this year for Libertyville Days, which is the big thing we have in June, June 14th it starts. He actually was put in charge of booking the bands for the main stage. Thursday, June 14th, my guys, Modern Day Romeos, are going to open up Libertyville Days, so pretty excited about that. So check them out at mickeyfinnsbrewery.com. You
Maybe
can connect.
Work from home on Friday.
I don't know, because here's the thing. So the following Friday, the 22nd, we have tickets for the Windy City Lake Shake to see Blake Shelton, who plays at 2 o'clock in the afternoon, which is great. And then we're staying somewhere in the city. So I'm taking that day off to begin with. So I'm trying to figure out, how do I do 2 Fridays in a row? Or maybe I just I have some business meetings Friday morning and get out there about noon.
Yeah.
Maybe. I don't know. I'm thinking.
Seems reasonable.
Got to figure some way out to do that. I know Harry doesn't listen to this show, so we should be fine. You can connect with the program on social media. We're on Twitter at AFDE Show, Facebook.com/AFDE Show. And, of course, you can email us. Keep those emails coming in, AFDEShow@gmail.com. He's Jason Ferrari. I'm Matt Abaticola. This is Abaticola Ferrari Discuss Everything. So thanks for tuning in. What's going on, dude?
Nada. I have meat, sweat.
Yeah,
just a combination of.
So we did a burger from Primo, and then you're enjoying the cerveza from Mickey Finn's.
Yes, it's good. It's the first beer I've had from there in a while. It's good.
Yeah, I haven't brought one in a long time.
It's definitely
so I apologize for that, but
it's aptly named. Well, obviously because it's beer. But yeah, it does taste kind of like a Mexican session beer.
Yeah, so they brew it with Mexican yeast, and I think it's really great. It's light, it's refreshing, It's easy to drink.
Ooh, it's like the lightest beer color.
It's a very light color. It's I think the lightest beer that they brew, and I think it's got great flavor though for even being a light beer.
It's good.
It's my summer drink there. I mean, that's like I do cerveza like I do Santa's Magic in the wintertime. Really, really cool too is that Crystal got me. This year she just bought me, it was last night as a surprise for Father's Day, the beer mug. So I'm part of the beer mug club at Mickey Finn's now. So when you go in, if you order a beer, they serve it to you in a giant mug. You get extra beer for the same price. That's a good thing.
Nice.
And then at the end of the season, it runs April to April. You get to keep the mug. You get to take the mug home, so you can do a collection of mugs. And so the one we're doing right now is actually, it's still last year's mug, 2017, because the 18 ones are on delay. They'll be there in like a week or two. The new ones are black. It's the first time they're doing a black mug. They've always been white. But this one is white, and on the front, Mickey Finn's Mug Club, 2017. And the back is a giant 23 logo, and they're calling it the Michael Jordan mug because it's the 23rd year that Finn's was established. So last year was their 23rd year.
Is it like a Stein?
It is, yeah. And it's a really big, heavy, really nice mug.
I hope so.
Yeah, so
it's like a plastic one.
Yeah, no, you're right. It's like a Dixie cup, and they tape a handle to the side.
It's like the ones from Packer-Palooza. Here's a plastic cup.
So, no, this is a super nice mug, and so that was pretty cool. So I got to go today and grab the growler for us, and then I had a mug of the Cerveza while I was there, and it was really cool. So I get there, run in the bathroom after my drive from Naperville, and this older gentleman, I'm at the hand dryer, and it's like one of those the super powerful ones that like blows your skin off.
Yeah.
And he's talking to me, and he was like, "I really like these. I'd like to get one of these at home." And I'm like, "Yeah, these actually they're great." He's like, "Yeah, they're really good." And then when we walk away, I walk past him.
Big gulps, huh?
Yeah. I walk past him going to the bar. I sit down, order the growler, order a mug of beer, and then the same guy, older guy, sits down next to me. And I'm like, all right, this probably isn't a coincidence because I shouldn't be here right now. I should actually be out by Jason's house. Had to run back home because I forgot something for the boys. And I'm like, he talks to me in the bathroom. He sits down next to me. The bar's kind of open. So I'm like, all right, I'm going to engage this guy in conversation. There's a reason why we've kept, we crossed paths. 85 years old. Guy started his own construction equipment rental company in 1963. Still runs it today. Lives in Naples. Is from the Libertyville area. He's only up here for like June and July and some of August. So he's here back in town. His wife was out like exercising. She turns 80 next month. Still runs and rides bikes.
God bless her.
He's 85 years old. We start talking, and I'm like, all right, there's a reason. I'm just going to engage this old guy and see what happens. We start having a great conversation, start talking about tons of stuff. We're talking a lot of sports because he's a sports fan. He's like, oh, you seem to know a lot about sports. And I'm like, oh, I spent 16 years in Chicago radio on sports talk. He's like, not the score. And I'm like, yep. He's like, oh, I used to call in the Mike North show. And I'm like, oh, a big Mike North fan. He's like, oh, yeah, I love that guy. And I'm like, oh, cool. What'd you do there? I tell him, blah, blah. Well, what's your name again? I'm like, I told him my name was Matthew because he's an older guy, and sometimes Matt is kind of hard to hear. And so he was like, what'd you say your name was? And I said, well, Matthew. He's like, oh, what was you on the radio? And I'm like, Matt Abaticola. He like almost fell out of his chair. He's like, there's no way you're Matt Abaticola. I showed him my card. He's like, oh, I know you. And that was it from there. I mean, he was like, I got to pick your brain. I got to talk to you about this. Got to talk to you about that. And we're talking about score from 1992 all the way on. Huge fan. I mean, the guy was just an absolute sweetheart. We exchanged numbers. We're getting together for beers again. I mean, I had a great time.
Nice.
Absolute great time with the guy.
What's the guy's name?
John Watson.
John Watson.
I kept calling him Mr. Watson. He kept yelling at me. It's John.
He's bringing some respect to the Florida.
That's what I was trying to do. So he was a super nice guy, John Watson. And, he's got 4 kids, 10 grandkids. Tell me all about him. Oof. A couple granddaughters that are missionaries. One in Honduras, where Abby was for 8 months. Another granddaughter who's a missionary in Haiti. Just seems like a great guy. I mean, we just had a great conversation. The NFL thing came up on the screen, and I said, I go, what do you think of this new NFL policy? He's like, if they don't stand, they should get them out of there. And and listen,
he's 85 years old.
I expect that from a guy who's 85, and he wasn't. I didn't get a racist vibe or anything from the guy at all. He actually seemed pretty open about other things we talked about a lot, believe it or not. His background though is he's a history buff. He served in the military in between Korea and Vietnam, so he didn't see any action. But he was still in the military. He's got a great deal of pride for being in the Army. He was giving me numbers of soldiers that were killed in World War II, and the number of soldiers that died in Vietnam, and the number of soldiers that died in Korea. So a lot of great pride there for him. So I get where his stance is. Like, I expect that from a guy who's 85 to be a little more rigid. But surprisingly, he was still open to having conversations because I had a little different opinion. And he was still open to engage and have a conversation and just be respectful about it. Now, you want to get into the whole thing? Like, I don't know how much you want to get into as far as so. Go ahead and say in case you don't know what the policy is. The NFL now has a rule out.
Right. So obviously the anthem issue has been a hot button for we're 2 years ago, right?
Going on. It's the 3rd season.
Going on third season. Started when Colin Kaepernick knelt in protest of violence against African Americans from police officers, and it kind of was going away. Like, people weren't really talking about it much, and I think there were 6 people who knelt last year, and the owners, and we're gonna unleash holy hell soon. But what they, I'm air quoting this, voted on, because it sounds like that didn't actually even happen.
Right.
was that it is going to be mandatory if you are standing on the sidelines to stand during the national anthem. And if you choose not to, you can either stay out of sight or in the locker room.
Stay in the locker room, yep.
And the team and players, or actually, what was the exact wording? It was like employees or of the team. So basically, it means coaches, player, anybody, like you can be fined. So the team can be fined and the players can be fined. I think it's cowardly horse shit.
Yeah, there was one team already, the Jets and the
Niners.
The Niners too said that.
Niners abstained.
Okay.
And
no, but the Jets owner said that they would pay out of his own pocket. He's like, I'll do it.
Starting a fund specific for that.
I think it's complete horse crap.
Yep.
It really is. And when you have the president before a speaking engagement saying that, wouldn't you love to see the owners tell that guy to get the hell out of here and fire him? I mean, it's, again, when we talked about this last week, Jay, or the week before, whatever it was before Ted, the reason the discourse within our nation is so volatile and so angry and so narrow-minded, the unwillingness to even listen to the other side, it starts in the White House. It starts with the president, and it started during his campaign.
Which is what you normally would think has anything to do with NFL and the NFL rules.
Right, but it's just the way that people are talking and communicating to each other, it trickles down. And he's taken civility and respect for other people, regardless of the thoughts they might have, and is throwing it out the window. He does it, and it trickles down into other politicians, which just trickles down into the citizens, and that's the way we engage each other now. We don't engage each other with an open mind, with the ability to talk and understand that we may have differing opinions, and we should still respect people that may differ from us. It's been hard for me since Trump's run for president, then got elected. Maybe Russia stole the election for him, whatever it might be. That'll all come to an end eventually. I have the hardest time, and it's so weird. I keep going back to The American President, that movie with Michael Douglas, and that speech that he gave at the end finally when he went after Bob Rumson, who was Richard Dreyfuss. He finally went after him, and he there's a line in there. There's a couple different lines, and I'm just paraphrasing, talking about you want to talk about the land of the free and the home of the brave in your classrooms. He goes, what about a person who opposes everything you believe in, screaming at the top of their lungs, while you stand nose to nose, screaming the exact opposite because it's what you believe? He goes, and we have to be able to respect a person's right to have those opinions, as well as in peaceful protest, burn the American flag.
Right.
Okay. I would never do that. It's not something I would ever do in protest, but I also have the ability and the open-mindedness to understand that the freedoms that we're granted in our country, that what this country was built upon is freedoms for everyone to express themselves. If that's what you choose to do in protest, I'm not going to judge you or be angry at you or look at you as a criminal, because you have the right to do that. If you do something that's illegal and is a crime, well then sure, then you should pay the punishment for that. But being able to express your opinions, and if I differ in those opinions, it shouldn't close me off as a human being to not give you the respect that you deserve.
Right.
But we've lost that in our country. It's completely gone. I mean, it's not like it's hanging by a thread. I mean, it's gone. It's completely washed away. You have the president daily tweeting lie after lie about what's happening in the investigation.
Just the first part of that.
You have
the president daily
tweeting using cell phones that aren't secured lines. I mean, the lack of security that's there is unbelievable. Then on the other side, the people that hate Trump, they blur past journalism and news at times because the hatred is so strong, but yet he opened that floodgate up, though.
Right.
So you get to this NFL thing, and it's just like, it's definitely, it's obviously racial. Colin Kaepernick sat down the first time. The second game, he knelt down. And it's not about veterans. It's not about the armed services. It's not about the American flag. It's not about the anthem. It's about the inequality that black people face in America when it comes to the police. And if you don't believe there's a difference, you're either naive, really dumb, or you're racist. There's really no way around it. I mean, there isn't. If you're an intelligent, informed person, there's no way you can look at the police and think that black people are treated the same way as white people are, because they're not. It's not. It's just not true.
Right.
And if you can't even be open-minded enough to understand that that's a possibility, then you're either really dumb or you're racist. There's no other way around it.
I mean, let's break it down into a couple of chunks too. So, what was John? Is that your new friend's name today?
John
Watson.
Yeah.
Wait, is that Sherlock Holmes' buddy's name? It is.
Doctor. Yeah.
John Watson.
Dr. John
Sweet.
Watson.
Yeah.
That's what I introduced him to Brian. He was walking by, and Brian was like, "Well, too bad he's not a doctor."
Watson. Yeah. But yes, a lot of soldiers have died for this country,
right.
But that is not what the American flag 100% entails.
No.
It's a symbol and it's the meaning behind it, but it's not purely reserved for soldiers giving their lives, which obviously we completely respect. I have nothing but love for people in our armed forces, but anyone who gets mad about it and just uses that as an example, it doesn't make any sense.
Right.
It's, there's not going to be one player getting interviewed after the game being asked, why did you kneel? Saying, well, because I really just don't care about soldiers dying.
Right.
Like, that's not it. So,
No,
naive, dumb,
right.
People not understanding, who argue about freedoms in different areas, but then seem to look over the freedom to say what you want. Like,
right. No. I mean, people are willing to get into crazy mad fights about certain freedoms, but another person's freedom and right to peacefully protest and to kneel during a song is insane. Like, to get angry over that and to not really see what it's about. If you refuse, see, that's the issue, and that's the problem, is that people refuse to even open up to the idea of a conversation.
Right.
That's what it is. And that video that we were talking about beforehand, I'd never seen it before. You had clearly seen it, the Kaepernick thing, the origin of why he knelt. I don't know the guy's name, but he was in the military. When he saw Colin Kaepernick sit down for the anthem the first time, he was angry. He was mad about it. But then he took a step back, and he's like, let me understand what's going on here. Reached out to Kaepernick. They connected. They talked. He told Kaepernick, and I've retweeted this on my Twitter, @Matabatacola. If you haven't seen the video, it's on YouTube. He suggested, Kaepernick, maybe you kneel. Because kneeling is a sign of reverence. He goes, we kneel before the gravestones of fallen soldiers. People kneel when they're in prayer. He goes, maybe kneel. If that's your protest, maybe don't sit, but maybe kneel. That's how it started.
Right.
And Kaepernick was open to the idea. He was like, yeah, okay, I get it.
And it makes so much sense. Right.
It makes a lot more sense.
It's such a... No, you know what I was going to say? It's subtle, but it's not subtle.
It's
like
not subtle.
sitting,
No, it's
kind of like sitting is kind of like someone, giving you an order. In a movie, say A Few Good Men.
Yeah.
When he's like, "Don't you salute?"
Yeah.
And he sits down and puts his
he
hands
puts
in his pockets.
Right.
Like sitting down, I feel like is more of a kind of like a F you.
I think
kneeling is absolutely a
right,
respect.
If the whole anthem thing bothers you as a person, I think sitting on the bench or hiding in the locker room is worse.
Right.
I think it's worse. I think kneeling is like, hey, I'm part of this country, and as a citizen and a member of this country, I have the right to protest what I believe is injustice. And again, if you refuse to even be open to the conversation that there is an inequality in the way police treat black people as the way they treat white people, then you are absolutely insane. Dude, if in January I'm in Milwaukee and I park my car across 3 handicap parking spots, yeah, I'm a D-bag for doing that. And the player from the Bucks, whose name I can't recall, and I'm sorry, I'll look it up in a second or it'll hit me, a D-bag move. Complete, and it looked like it was dark out. It was night out. It doesn't matter. Yeah, you think handicapped people aren't going to
D-bag move, no matter
whatever.
who does it.
It's a D-bag move. If I do it or if you do it, that same situation, are there 6 police there?
No.
Are there backup police? Like more than one backup? Now it's typical for a backup, even in a routine like speeding. A car gets pulled over.
Right.
Broad daylight. There'll be another cop car that pulls up. It's happened to me before. Pulled over by one car and a second car is there. They don't get out. But do you think if we parked across 3 handicapped parking spaces, there would be 6 to 8 cops there?
No.
No. Do you think we'd get tased?
No.
No, absolutely not. Absolutely not. So if you even refuse to open the conversation that there might be a difference in the way you as a white person are treated compared to the way a black person is treated by police, then you are part of the problem. Absolutely, it's the unwillingness to even open yourself up to the idea that your theologies in society may not be accurate. That's the problem. That's the problem we have. You put a guy in charge who is a racist, narrow-minded, womanizing scumbag, and it just adds fuel to the fire. It's just that simple.
So there's that entire component, and then if people didn't understand it before about the NFL, they really need to understand it now. It is a bunch of very rich, very old owners, and the only thing that they care about is money.
Money.
This is so based in money, and the fact that quotes come out from owners that say we can't have, just the fact that they say this, we can't have the inmates running the prison.
Right.
You really think that was the best reference to articulate your point?
Right.
Was that Bob McNair?
Yeah.
It's unbelievable that 32. Well, okay, and it turns out it wasn't even. It didn't even come to a vote. It was more like a straw poll of what people thought.
Right.
One owner just abstained and said, "I don't even want to be involved in a vote if there is a vote." And they're so scared of the president and money that they make this decision that, in all honesty, what the hell does it do other than cause more problems?
Right.
All it's going to do is cause more problems. They're not losing money. The NFL, people say that their ratings are down. Yeah, but their money is up. They made $6 billion last year. If people don't think that this is rooted in money, then they don't just understand anything. Business. Sorry, but the owners aren't sitting around like, man, we just really hope that it's a great product on the field and all the fans are happy and we want to really take care of our players. Well, yeah, then you'd probably pay for their concussions, after they get done killing themselves for you on the football field.
Right.
And allow them to, just the word protest, in all honesty, just seems like such a strong thing to describe what is happening when they do that. If the camera was not moving up and down the sideline or focusing on one person, would anyone even know or give a shit if someone knelt during the national anthem?
All right, listen to this story, and this is a story that I've known. We talked about it on the station before. And the first story, you just Google it. The first story that popped up is truthdig.com, and the assistant editor at the time who wrote this, Emma Niles. A key component, and this is from September of 2017, so it's not even that long ago. A key component is missing from the current controversial discussion surrounding football players and the national anthem. In the recent days of argument over whether NFL players have the right to protest racial inequality and systemic injustice in the United States, few have brought up the fact that less than a decade ago, professional football players didn't even appear on the field during the national anthem. That changed in 2009. As the Department of Defense poured millions of dollars into the NFL in exchange for displays of patriotism during games. Until 2009, no NFL players stood for the national anthem because players actually stayed in the locker room as the anthem played. The players were moved to the field during the national anthem because it was seen as a marketing strategy to make the athletes look more patriotic, because the United States Department of Defense paid the NFL for paid patriotism. So don't even come to me and say that there's a history of rooted patriotism within the NFL and standing for the anthem. It didn't happen until money was paid by our government. Don't make this something it's not. It's so mind-boggling and frustrating and irritating that this is the root of it. This is the genesis. The genesis was the government putting money into the NFL to make it look more patriotic. I saw on Facebook the other day, this guy, I don't even know who it was, he had a big long thing about a handful of Cubs players weren't in the dugout for the national anthem. That 4 or 5 were not there. You want to know why? Dillweed? Because before the games, their jobs, where they depend on for their paychecks, sometimes they're getting treatment. Sometimes they're working on things with their coaches. Sometimes they're getting their ankles wrapped. Sometimes they're doing other things for treatment to get ready for the damn game that they get paid to play. They're not there to stand for the anthem. Oh, the guy's like, I'm done with this team. Really?
Yeah.
Really? Because the guy's in the locker room getting treatment? Or he's going over strategy with a coach? Are you insane? They're not there to be patriotic. They're not there to be role models for you about how to be a citizen. They're there to play a damn baseball game and entertain you. And if it means being a few minutes late in the dugout because they need to get their ankle wrapped, you're going to get mad about it and cry? I'm done watching them.
No, yeah.
Really?
You stop watching because your team sucks.
Are you that immature
You don't
and
stop watching for
narrow-minded?
that.
I mean, come on.
We went through. I probably
It's so stupid.
read. Jesus. I mean, it's definitely several hundreds of tweets about it, and I honestly had to search for ones that were in defense of it. Like, so you didn't see that very often, but like we were talking about before the show. So Chris Long, longtime NFL player, Howie Long's son, brother to Kyle.
Outspoken,
great Chicago Bear,
guy.
both very intelligent, and he's been very supportive of Cap and Eric Reed and Malcolm Jenkins, and I think Malcolm Thomas, I think is one of his teammates.
Okay,
but his tweet is, "This is fear of a diminished bottom line. It's also fear of a president turning his base against a corporation. This is not patriotism. Don't get it confused. These owners don't love America more than the players demonstrating and taking real action to improve it. Right. It also lets you, the fan, know where our league stands. I will continue to be committed to affecting change with my platform. I'm someone who always looked at the anthem as a declaration of ideals, including the right to peaceful protest. Our league continues to fall short on this issue." Right. Like, there's so many good ones out there, but I just...
He sums it up in the least amount of words that's needed, and it's absolutely... And it would be such an opportunity for the NFL to really be an agent of change, an agent of impact in our country. And not only have they dropped the ball, but they ran it back in their own end zone, and they screwed it so badly. The opportunity that was missed, and you could take individuals from different generations, the owners, and young 20-something black men who play their hearts out every week, and if that group could have come together, unified. Hey, I don't agree with what he's doing, but I support his right to protest. It's that simple.
Right.
It's as easy as that. It's a quick statement, and it's dead. It's dead 2 years ago. It's not an issue today. But it was missed so badly, and then again, you throw fuel in the fire with the president speaking to a crazy, psycho, mobbed up group of white people who obviously have racial issues, because there's no other reason why you hate this. Because it's not about America.
Right.
It's not about the American flag. It's not about veterans. It's about the social injustice that is there in our country, that is here today, between white people and black people, and mainly between authorities, law enforcement, and black people.
And apparently, according to our president, they not only don't deserve to be playing the game or on the team, but in the country. They shouldn't be in the country, is what his follow-up was to the announcement. One of our old players, Steve Kerr, now the coach of Golden State.
Yep.
He actually, this isn't his first time kind of chiming in on things like this, because they actually, after they won the championship for the first time, turned down the invite to the White House.
Yep.
And then Trump rescinded the invitation. No, I didn't invite you.
Right. No, that's like being fired and then you quit.
No, I quit.
I quit.
I'm going to put in my 2-week notice.
No, you're fired.
So he had a lot to say about it, but this quote, I think, really sums up how he feels and how I feel. They're basically trying to use the anthem as fake patriotism, nationalism, scaring people, Kerr told reporters in Houston ahead of a playoff game. It's idiotic, but that's how the NFL has handled their business. Woo, dig. I'm proud to be in a league that understands patriotism in America is about free speech and peacefully protesting. I think our leadership in the NBA understands that the NFL players were kneeling to protest police brutality, to protest racial inequality, he added. They weren't disrespecting the flag or the military. Our president decided to make it about that, and the NFL followed suit and pandered to their fan base.
There you go.
I mean, it's a great article. This is on thehill.com, but there are, there's like 19 versions of this. One of the best things that I've seen since all of this happened, and I think we should try and get this guy on the show, Sam Acho.
Okay.
Just a really, really well-spoken, articulate, smart dude who does a lot of stuff off the field that people don't even know about, was asked about it after an OTAs. And he responded for about 7 minutes.
Oh, yeah?
People were asking questions, and he kept going. And he even brought up, he said, I understand that all of the owners vote for it. He's like, I know George. I actually went to visit prisoners in Louisiana, and George came with me. He's like, he may have voted for this, but I know him. I know who he is as a man, so I don't think that was his intent in doing this.
Right.
Like, he supported the team, and he basically said, like, players are going to find ways to do something,
right.
Whereas they probably wouldn't have if the NFL would not have dropped the ball on this. I don't think that people wouldn't be finding creative ways to do it. Plenty of people said that they weren't even going to do it anymore,
right?
Because of what it is and what's actually coming up. I think
and
the fact that they were doing it the fact that it created conversation is the whole point.
Right, and on top of it, the couple things that really jump out at me when you look at this whole story, when you step back and examine the whole thing, number one, Colin Kaepernick has probably done more as an athlete over the last 2.5 years than maybe any other athlete in the country other than J.J. Watt, probably.
Oh, my God. Yeah.
I mean, Kaepernick has done so much to actually make a difference and impact young people's lives and impact the country. And it's funny that he is 10 times the player than a lot of the starters or backups in this league.
He's a top 15 QB.
And the guy can't get a job.
Right.
It's like, come on. I mean, are you serious? Try to tell me it's not a racial thing then.
No.
I mean, try and tell me that.
And Eric Reed, stud safety, 26 years old, no job.
In his prime.
In his prime. And he knelt with him. I mean, Cap took his team to a Super Bowl. Like, just, it's asinine.
Let's not forget Kaepernick's first start.
Oh, yeah.
When he ran all over the Bears and embarrassed them.
And then he smoked the Packers in that playoff game.
Tell me that guy is not better than most of the backups in this league.
Most of the starters.
Better than a handful of starters in the league.
Starters.
I mean, come on.
Oh, well, yeah. I mean, there's a lot to be said on that, and we've spent a lot of time on it, but it's just one of those things where I'm not surprised. I'm disappointed. But I'm not surprised, and I don't like that. Like the NFL, I love football.
Yeah.
I love it. And they had such an opportunity to do the right thing, and they fucked it up. And it just really, it bothers me.
Right. Dude, 2 years ago, it's a very simple thing. We understand where Colin Kaepernick is coming from, and as a family member of the NFL, we respect and appreciate his rights to peacefully protest. We may not all agree with his protest methods, but we certainly support him and what he's doing, and we'll do what we can as an NFL family to try to see change within our country. It's that brief of a statement that someone who is much more intelligent and more gifted in that area of marketing and PR could have crafted much better. I just did it in 10 seconds off the top of my head, and it would have been dead and over with. Period. That's simple.
That's
simple. But then you take an individual who somehow became elected as president, who clearly hates people of any color, not just black people, clearly is a white supremacist leader, hates people of any color, and if you want to disagree with me, then either you're the same way or you're just really dumb. If you can't step back and look at it with a clear mind, then you're either a racist as well or you're really stupid. It's that simple. There's no other way around it. The thing that bothers me the most is that we can't be civil and have a conversation with someone who has a different opinion than we do. It's sad. It's really sad because here's the thing. You know what? There is no happy ending in this. We don't get better as a country. If people aren't willing to treat another person of a different color or a different mindset or a different philosophy in life with respect, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what we try to do. It doesn't matter.
I want to look a little bit further into this too, but I did read something that said that the NFL basically put out a poll, like a silent poll to the fan base, bringing up certain issues. This being one of them, domestic violence, concussions, stuff like that. But they only mentioned one player by name in this, and it was Kaepernick. Mm-hmm. You honestly don't think this guy has a shot in this collusion case? Like, it's unbelievable. Right. This is like politics 101.
Right.
They put a poll out to gauge and like what God. I mean, I guess I'm not totally surprised. What does that say about the fan base?
Well, it says a lot. There's a lot of racism within the fan base because what you do is you take a guy in Kaepernick,
watching a predominantly black league, who in
Kaepernick himself, who is articulate, can have a conversation, can get a point across, is intelligent. But here's the difference: he doesn't talk like a white guy. He sounds like a black guy, and then he's got a giant afro. And every middle-aged white guy in America hears him and sees someone that they don't like.
Yep.
It's that simple. And immediately they refuse to hear what he has to say because he is an ignorant black guy with a giant afro.
Yep.
And I don't want that guy in my life. So I'm not going to hear what he has to say because I'm a narrow-minded, racist individual.
Yep.
That's what it comes down to. It's that simple. All right, we like to wrap up our first segment with something funny.
Go to all the laughs now. All the laughs.
We have our show handle on Twitter is at AFDE Show. You can always follow us. And Jason likes to pull some of our favorite handles that we do follow and some of the tweets of the week. We usually bring you 5. So there's other ones, including the Onion as well.
Yes. But I went away from. There's Onion, obviously, but I found other things.
There you go.
So
these are our best tweets of the week.
The fact, a lot of times, if you've been listening to us for a while, I'll read something and be like, I can't believe that's a real thing. Like, I can't believe that's a real thing.
Yeah.
So from at AP, so from the Associated Press, breaking. Federal judge says President Donald Trump cannot block his critics on Twitter without violating the First Amendment.
I saw that, and I had to read it a few times. I'm like, I didn't read this right. That a federal judge is making a ruling about our president blocking idiots on Twitter.
Trolls.
Unbelievable. I was dumbfounded that that's a tweet. That's an actual story.
So we'll call these Twitter highlights because I don't want to say that that's the best of anything, but that actually happened. That's a thing.
Yep.
All right, so along the lines of the NFL, DeMaurice Smith, who is he's the president of the NFLPA.
The PA, yep.
It's a stream or a thread, excuse me. History has taught us that both patriotism and protest are like water. If the force is strong enough, it cannot be suppressed. Today, the CEOs of the NFL created a rule that people who hate autocracies should reject. Management has chosen to quash the same freedom of speech that protects someone who wants to salute the flag in an effort to prevent someone who does not wish to do so. The sad irony of this rule is that anyone who wants to express their patriotism is subject to the whim of a person who calls himself an, quote, owner. I know that not all of the NFL CEOs are for this, and I know the true American patriots are not cheering today.
Yep.
So
very good.
And then I'm like, okay, now we need to go funny.
Have a laugh.
So there's this handle it's called You Had One Job. I mean, you can kind of get and it just finds photos of things and it's like, oh no. So if you ride public transit, they've got the ads on the L, along the ceiling. And this is an ad that says, your teen comes home and you smell marijuana. Now what? And then right next to it, there's a thing that says, this calls for air guitar. It's a different ad. So and it just says, unfortunate placement.
That's great.
Yeah. Oh, man. Actually, you know what the funny thing is? I think that's the L. I think that's the CTA symbol. Yeah. So that handle. That's a new handle that I started following, but it's at You Had One Job 1. @ You Had One Job, the number 1.
Yeah.
Next one is from the Onion. I don't know. Everything on the Onion makes me laugh, but these are the ones. I think we read something like this before. Study finds getting smacked right in the mouth with a goddamn tree branch really sucks. Oh, I love them so much. All right, Jim Gaffigan, hilarious stand-up.
Oh yeah.
It says, I did not know what is more awkward, walking around a hotel lobby with a wig or having the wig be sincerely complimented by a nice 80-year-old lady. Oh, beautiful wig, I proudly said. Thank you. Not on his head. He had it in
Is that a mannequin?
Like a mannequin head, yeah. And then just one more Onion one that I saw when I was getting our burgers. I don't know if you've been on it today, but
I have not.
Chuck E. Cheese's pit boss tells floor attendant to keep an eye on guests winning big at skee ball. He's got a guy with a clipboard in Chuck E. Cheese. So, Yeah, those are tweets that either stood out for bad reasons or made me chuckle.
Yeah, tweets that stood out this week. So you can follow us on Twitter as well at AFDE Show. That video I think I sent you, the misreadings, the bad lip readings.
Yes, yeah.
The royal wedding one was hysterical.
Oh my God, those are all they're so good.
The one, it's like I kept restarting it because the conversation between Harry and William about giraffes and stuff. It was, oh my God, it was just so funny. It's so good.
Oh man,
so
whoever
good.
started doing that, I think they started with the NFL, right?
I think
it was
so.
like bad lip reading.
I think so. Yeah. So
always
you
Tom
can
Brady.
Just Google it and find that the bad lip reading for the royal wedding was really, really funny. And like when Harry asked Meghan if she wants a pen, and she was like, "Oh, why would you ask that?" He's like, "I don't know, just like you might want a pen." You know, it was so stupid. Good stuff though. So check out our Twitter handle at AFDE Show. You can email us at afdeshow@gmail.com, facebook.com/AFDE Show. This is a Batacola Ferrari Discuss Everything. It's episode number 37. It's called Senator Biscuit. And we're brought to you by Mickey Finn's Brewery, Illinois' oldest brew pub, 345 North Milwaukee Avenue. Check them out at mickeyfinnsbrewery.com. Back after a few moments.
You encouraged Colin Kaepernick in the very beginning of this movement to take a knee and not to sit during the national anthem. When you see that tweet from a congressman, Peter King, equating it to a Nazi salute, what's your reaction?
Well, I mean, that's a little far-fetched. A lot far-fetched, I should say. You know, it's important to note that taking a knee was sort of born out of compromise from two people that maybe didn't agree necessarily on everything, but people that were willing to listen to one another. And I wanted him to stand because of what it means to me, what the flag, the anthem, everything means to me, and he didn't want to. And through our conversation, through listening and respecting one another, he agreed to take a knee. So, I mean, that's from somebody that served his country, and it was a way to demonstrate where I thought that he was showing that he was willing to listen to people that maybe he was hurting and affecting in some way. And so, yeah, it's not a you can't compare it to a Nazi salute. That's just ridiculous. I mean, I think my message is more to the American people than to just the men and women who paid that ultimate sacrifice. I'll say this. What most of them died for, is not the right to protest. It's not for patriotism. It's not for the Constitution or the American flag or the national anthem or any of that. What they died for is the man on their left and right. And if we can't live for the man on our left and right back here at home, respectfully, despite our differences, then what in the hell did they die for?
Welcome back into the program. It's Batacola Ferrari Discuss Everything, episode number 37. Senator Biscuit, that's his name. We're brought to you by Mickey Finn's Brewery, 345 North Milwaukee Avenue in beautiful and historic downtown Libertyville. Check them out at mickeyfinnsbrewery.com. Great beer, great food, great people, live entertainment every Friday and Saturday night. For us today is Thursday, May 24th.
Sounded like a captain on a flight.
We've now reached our cruising altitude of 31,000 feet. I've turned off the seatbelt sign, so please feel free to use the restrooms at this time. If we do get some turbulence, though, folks, I will put that light back on and make sure you get back to your seats. The temperature in LA is 87 degrees. We should be landing right around 3 o'clock local time.
In the attic, 86.
At Jason's house, 92 right now. Thank you for flying TWA. We hope we make it there.
TWA.
Anywho, we'd like to start off the second segment of each show. Again, this is number 37, Senator Biscuit, with our That's So Wisconsin segment. It's brought to you by Will's Northwoods Inn. They're at 3030 North Racine in the Lakeview area. Check them out online at willsnorthwoodsinn.com. Daily specials, trivia night on Tuesdays. We were there in April for Packerpalooza. Just a great, great place.
Part of me is still there.
Part of you is still there. Even if you're not a Packer fan or a Badgers fan, it's still a great neighborhood bar with great neighborhood people, and I am looking forward to getting out there for a Bears-Packers game this upcoming season. It might be the only game that I watch all NFL season. But check them out online at willsnorthwoodsinn.com. And we do a segment called That's So Wisconsin, where we'd like to find a story that revolves around the great state of Wisconsin or a Wisconsinite. And Jason always finds good ones for us. And what do we have for That's So Wisconsin this week?
All right, headline: Police call senior prank one of the best school has ever seen.
Like old person or a high school senior?
Senior in high school.
Okay.
When local police department offers congratulations to an entire class on its senior prank, you know they pulled off something great. The class of 2018 at Cumberland High School in Wisconsin created an original and labor-intensive senior prank using some tape, a black tarp, bricks, and an old vehicle. So if you can see the photo here, and I know that this is an audio podcast, but so it brought what looks to be an old Pontiac Grand Am, and made it look like it went through the bricks in the wall. And
that's great.
The cops were like, "This is amazing." Wait, here's the tweet from police. Graduation week. The Cumberland School District, excuse me. Nice work, seniors. You had everyone a little nervous this morning. The police department is saying the senior prank was one of the best senior pranks that Cumberland High School has seen. Students positioned an old junker strewn with loose bricks in front of what appeared to be a gaping black hole in the building side just outside the principal's office.
That's pretty good.
It is. You could, I think you can probably just Google Wisconsin senior
school.
prank.
Yeah.
But this website that I've got this from is fox43.com.
Now, where's this at in Wisconsin?
Cumberland.
Yeah. Do you any idea where that would be?
I can check that right now.
Yeah, because I'd like to know where that is. That's really good. So like a giant black tarp, is that what that was?
Yeah, and tape, and then
So
they put bricks on the
tape a black tarp to the brick wall. It was like half of a car up against the wall with bricks all around it, and it looked like it had gone through the wall. That was really, really good.
Right, but at the principal's office too.
That's really good.
Wow, I have to keep going out. I don't know where this is in Wisconsin. It's like way far north and way far west, like almost Minneapolis.
Okay.
So, well, out in the boonies.
Yeah, good job.
Kids at
Congratulations.
Cumberland getting it done. Proud of you.
All right, that's our That's So Wisconsin segment brought to you by Will's Northwoods Inn, 3030 North Racine in the Lakeview area. Check them out at willsnorthwoodsinn.com. Add a little bit of God's country in the heart of South Lakeview. You'll have a great time, so check them out, Will's Northwoods Inn. Thank you so much. All right, so it happened again today where we played a game. I text you the first and last name of an actor or celebrity or politician, and you play the game dead or sexual harassment.
Yeah, I had just seen it when you sent it to
And
me.
today the name was
Morgan.
All I text was Morgan Freeman.
Freeman.
Right, that's all I have to text. And yep. So Morgan Freeman, apparently, the story that I read said there was up as many as 16 different complaints spanning over years and different movie sets of sexual harassment and inappropriate touching, to the point where one complaint, or at least one, was trying to lift up her skirt to see if she was wearing underwear. Yes, this is Red from Shawshank Redemption. I mean, it's Morgan Freeman, who was in the Batman, the Christopher Nolan Batman trilogy. I mean, it's Morgan freaking Freeman.
I know.
And then he issued an apology saying that, if he offended anyone, that certainly wasn't his intent. I mean, you're groping people. I mean, what other intent do you have there, big guy?
Why can't it be like Tyler Perry?
Okay.
Someone who makes shit. Come on, man. I'm tired of this. I am so tired of this. Why? You know what? Are you surprised that everybody is? Are you surprised that everybody that is good is hitting on women? For Christ's sakes, man! It's Morgan Freeman. Just the guy's 85 years old.
Why couldn't it be Tyler?
Tyler Perry. Can you? Hey, look, Medea. We don't have to see that shit ever again.
All right.
Yeah.
Big
Morgan
Mama's house,
Freeman,
whatever.
man.
So I learned this, though, today about Morgan Freeman when I learned about his sexual harassment, that he only has one functioning hand. I didn't know this.
Yeah.
I had no idea that his left hand doesn't really work because of nerve damage.
Yep.
So and all the pictures of Morgan Freeman with the Michael Jackson glove. That was interesting. So I wonder if you could just blame that hand and say, I didn't know the hand was doing it. I couldn't feel anything. Yeah, so...
I think I saw a couple of quotes. One said he told, someone was 6 months pregnant, and he was talking about their body. Actually, it was a CNN reporter at a press junket, and he called her ripe. It's just so messed up, man.
Nice.
God.
How old is he?
85.
Yeah,
can we just I just want to Cosby? No. You're whatever. You were a disaster. Morgan Freeman, come on. I mean,
whatever.
Right on the heels of the story that I had put in our rundown yesterday, and then this comes out today, that Morgan Freeman is now the voice of the Vancouver transit system.
Yeah.
Which would be awesome, because I'm so miserable on public transit sometimes, and if she's just like, yeah, it's cool, it's just Morgan Freeman, the voice of God,
right? He's done a ton of voiceover work. He still does a lot of voiceover work here on TV now.
Citibank or
something like that. I don't know, one of those two, but
Visa.
Yeah, that's all done now, man. Another one. So just stop touching people, dudes. I mean, just stop doing it. Stop. I mean, you got to see if a girl has underwear on. I mean, seriously? Like, what?
I mean,
like, you know what? There are enough women out there that would be involved with you for that particular reason. So just find one of them.
Right. Well, I mean,
why force it on someone who's just trying to do a job?
Coming to light because these are, famous celebrities, but how many other old dudes are doing that? You know what I mean? I don't think that Morgan Freeman's like, I am powerful. Right. Like, he's literally like, that is a nice ass. Like, it's like,
it sucks.
It sucks.
Rubbing someone's back and and like trying to find out they have underwear on. I mean, come on. That's
I know. It's
just stop. You know what? I mean, you're Morgan freaking Freeman. You could get any chick. There's chicks out there that would do anything you wanted to.
Yep.
Just because you're Morgan Freeman. Find one of them. Leave people alone that are trying to do their jobs. I mean, seriously.
I know.
Wow, look at you. You're looking all right.
You're right.
Like,
ew.
She's pregnant with a child.
God.
Are you wearing underwear today? Like, what?
I don't know. I'm not sure.
Jeez. Well, anyway. So
yeah.
Another game of debt or sexual harassment in the books for our texting. So.
And I wish, when I would have known too, but like I literally was just trying to look up something to see if I could figure out more about the public transit thing, and I'm like, oh no, no, man.
Yeah.
All right, so anyone who's investigating these things, look into Tyler Perry. So in a Are You Wearing Underwear news story,
and we mean that about Tyler Perry in a totally satirical and humorous way. So
I just whatever makes him stop making movies.
Maybe just ask him.
Yeah, should I tweet him?
Please stop making movies.
Hey. Just stop, dude.
I think you're done.
Okay. Yeah. The guy owns an island.
Yeah.
He's a billionaire.
You're good.
Cut the shit.
You're good, man.
All right. Did you see the story about Ashton Kutcher on Ellen?
I did not.
So Ellen DeGeneres, obviously, has a wildlife fund for endangered animals. She's a huge endangered animal, advocate.
Okay.
And Kutcher came on the show yesterday and said, or actually, he wasn't a guest. It was a surprise visit.
Okay. She
called him out. He said he had something that he wanted to tell her. She called him out. He came out with his business partner, Guy O'Siri, and the name of the company is... God, even my glasses are fogging up. What the hell is happening in here?
It's like a steam room.
For Christ's sakes, my glasses are fogging up in an apartment with air conditioning. Yeah, sorry, I derailed myself.
The name of the company is
Ripple. So it's like a Bitcoin. Okay, so and he's Ashton Kutcher has like a venture capital company, and they invest in tech companies. Anyway, he came out and showed her the app, the Ripple app, and said, "Press this button." And as soon as she did that, $4 million went to her wildlife fund.
Oh wow!
Which
Nice.
I just thought was like, that's cool. Like super. I like him actually. Yeah. Like he's like a smart guy, and he does a lot of stuff with tech. But she, as she gets emotional. Yeah. But he said something that was really cool that I agree with, because she seems to like do everything for everybody.
Yeah.
She doesn't really seem to ask for anything. And he said, "You're always thinking about everyone else. We wanted to show you that people are thinking about you." Kutcher joked that typically such a large donation might be accompanied by a big giant check. So, yeah, but that was a good surprise.
Yeah,
$4 million.
Is he still dating a hot chick?
They're married.
Were they married?
Mila Kunis, yeah.
Is he?
Yeah,
Are they still married?
Like 2 kids, yeah.
Really?
Man. Yeah.
It's too bad.
Why, you want to date him?
Well, her or him, whatever. Either one.
He's kind of a handsome guy.
Yeah. Seems like he'd be a lot of fun to hang out with.
I think so.
Yeah.
Rich?
Yeah, no,
He's a Bears fan?
She's good. I like her. A fan of hers. And apparently she likes Jim Beam.
Oh, yeah.
I'm sure she's just not doing that for the money. I'm sure she drinks it.
I mean, probably does. Definitely now.
Right.
But
I'd like to sponsor Jim Beam.
yeah, they could sponsor my life.
Do ads.
They probably had at some point.
You can call us if you want.
Yeah.
We'll do endorsements for you.
So, wait, you said you had something, didn't you?
Oh, I want to talk about Morgan Freeman.
Oh,
I just wanted to make sure we're talking about it. Yeah, because I wanted to talk about Red from Shawshank Redemption. We last night I let Hank stay up to watch the entire basketball game. The Celtics and the Cavs were on. That was Game 5 that the Celtics won, and so he wanted to stay up and watch the whole thing. So I let him stay up and watch the entire game. And Jack was like, "What about the hockey game?" So we were flipping back and forth. I mean, between Game 7 of the Caps and the Lightning, and then Game 5 of the Celtics and Cavs. So that was my night last night with the dudes after our soccer pizza party. So the Las Vegas Knights are headed to the NHL Stanley Cup Finals.
I didn't even know that they were a team until
This is the first year.
I think yesterday.
It's fun. It's great.
I had no idea.
I can't tell you. Hank was like, "Who's the players?" And I was like, "I have no idea. I can't name one."
Las Vegas is a hockey team.
I have no idea who the coach is. I have no idea who's in the front office. I can't name one player that was on the Knights. Apparently, they were really good though because it's their first year, and it's the first time in a long time that the two teams playing for the Stanley Cup Finals are playing for their very first cup ever. So you have Alex Ovechkin in the Capitals and the Las Vegas Knights. Now, I bring that up because of Twitter today, which was rather annoying. It was one tweet after another from every individual from every type of industry in the world was tweeting a similar tweet today about the hockey. Hockey is going to play in Sin City where it's corrupt people, blah, blah, this and that.
Somehow I missed all of these.
Yeah, and oh, by the way, they're also playing against the Las Vegas Knights.
Unfollowed anybody who talks about hockey.
Yeah, no, if I did that today, I would have been unfollowing a lot of people from all different industries, all walks of life. Like, chefs that I follow and stuff were making comments. And
I guess I wasn't really staring at it all day, so I just went to look for some stuff.
You have an automatic filter in your Twitter that if it talks about hockey, it automatically blocks them.
Ow. Ow.
You made the fart sound for baseball, America's pastime.
No, I added that after hockey.
Oh.
Like I don't know anything about hockey. Oh, I hear the dog.
Uh-oh.
That means the
Is
wife.
your son home?
My son is home. Did you see this? The Brandy Chastain.
My God, I was trying to figure out what man they made her look like. I thought it was like John Adams from remember the HBO document, the HBO. Dog is taken down. Oh, don't choke yourself, dog. There you go.
Okay.
Hi, puppy. Hi, Pate. Wait, are we unplugged? I can't hear anything.
The dog.
I can't hear myself.
Wait.
The dog is going to try to strangle itself with the cords.
Holy shit.
What happened there? There we go. Now it's all out.
Hold on.
Hey, I'm still talking.
Well, yeah.
I am not going to miss a beat. I'm a radio pro. There we go.
Okay.
Man, it tangled around its neck too.
Yeah, he went
Psycho.
That was actually hilarious.
He was happy to see you.
Yes. I haven't seen the dog in 3 weeks. So, yeah. So, oh my God.
Oh, yeah. So I saw yeah. I think maybe it turned down a little bit, or is it yours go loud? Mine went quiet.
Shit.
Hello. All right.
Oh, I just blew out my ears.
Yeah. So they made her look like a man and like an old, like one of the founding fathers. So that's what she looked like.
This was on.
If that was in color, she'd have like a white wig.
This was also a post today on that "You Had One Job" Twitter handle. Oh my God. The tweets. Like, if you haven't seen this, what I don't know. Like the tweets that came out after this. And, Brandy Chastain, the Hall of Fame.
She looks like Winston Churchill.
I know, the
Hey,
Olympic soccer player. All right, yeah. So, let me get this up here. There was one that said, "What did Brandy Chastain do to deserve this?"
Right. Is it a punishment or like an honor?
Look at then it shows like what is his name? Oh my God, Cristiano Ronaldo. Cristiano Ronaldo. Yeah. Look at that. Do you see his? Oh, geez.
Oh, man.
Yeah. Look at Lucy. Oh, my God.
Wait, that's not Lucille Ball.
Yes. Oh my
Why is
God!
Michael Shannon there in the bottom right?
I don't know. That does look like Michael Shannon.
Wow, Lucille.
Babe Ruth.
Babe Ruth looks like Brandy Chastain.
Yes,
Oh,
yeah.
No, good grief.
Oh man.
Seriously, no, that's it. No,
Pat Sajak.
no, go back up to Babe Ruth because that's a perfect. That's it.
Yeah.
It's Babe Ruth with hair.
That is messed up. How could they? It's a woman. I don't.
Wow.
Good Lord. Oh, Mickey Rooney.
Oh, I'd be a little upset if I was. Yeah, baby.
Brandy Chastain's
Yeah.
new Hall of Fame plaque. It's a picture of Austin Powers.
I'd be ticked off if I was her.
So they're redoing it.
Oh, thank God.
I
looks
mean,
terrible.
it's really bad. Really bad. God, now we're going to have to look into Lucille Ball. Like,
Yeah,
that,
what happened to that
what is
one?
with my glasses?
No, it's not even your glasses.
Oh, my God.
I'll tell you.
That doesn't even look like a human, like any
I'll
person.
tell you when we're not recording what I think it looks like. I don't want to say it on the mic.
Eesh. All right. So, yeah, my brain is rattled from the
That's right.
dog pulling all the stuff off.
attacking us.
So here's in a why the hell did you do this study
Okay.
story. The headline is Study shows that sharks do not mind jazz.
Alrighty then. That's it. This is the end of the world.
Seriously, like what school are you at?
Oh yeah, no, that's the end of the world right there.
I mean, I don't. Why would you be like,
Well, I mean,
what
yeah,
are
why
the
do that?
sharks?
But secondly, what? I mean, I don't know. I guess I'm not. No, I'm not even gonna say. I guess I'm not. I know I'm not a big fan of jazz
Or sharks.
Well, sharks.
I think
yeah.
I hate sharks, but I don't mind jazz, but I don't like proactively listen to it.
Yeah. Yeah. Where was this study done? And
Australia.
why? Okay. Nothing better to do.
Yes.
Like, couldn't that work be done towards something else? Like maybe that's something that could impact society in a positive way. Like, do we really need to know that sharks don't mind jazz? I mean, is that a thing we have to know? I know. Like, is that a burning question that's just like this filters through our society and like where children grow up wondering, do sharks mind jazz?
Yeah.
Like, are parents asked that at night by children when they look tucking them in bed
Dad,
at night?
Dad, do sharks like jazz?
I don't know, son. Maybe
well,
one day
son, 'cause that's the dumb question.
maybe someday someone will do a study about
Hopefully there'll be a study
Oh,
about
boy.
sharks liking jazz. With an equally stupid headline, but real story nonetheless. Miami school faces backlash for bringing tiger to prom.
Tiger Woods?
An actual tiger was sitting in a cage at prom, and people were definitely upset and not sure what was going on. And as you can imagine, animal rights activists were not thrilled about this high school in Florida bringing a tiger in a cage in the middle of prom with like blasting music and children.
Did you hear that story about the two guys riding their bike somewhere out west and they were attacked by a mountain lion? Like
No.
a big cat attacked them. Might have been Seattle maybe, but yeah, it came out of the woods out of nowhere and attacked them. They were able to like use their bikes to swing at the cat to make it run away. They got back on their bikes and tried to get away. The cat came back out, got one of the guys, dragged him off in the woods and killed him.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah, isn't that terrible? Imagine like going like
Like you win, and then
well, not only that, but it's like your buddy and you like make plans to get up every morning and go bike riding and exercise and make
Attacked
yourself
by a
healthy,
mountain
and you're
lion.
attacked by a lion and you're killed. Like seriously? Yeah, and then on top of it, it's like, all right, man, that's a great story. That's a great story. Come on, Jim, let's go, Jim.
Oh my God.
Jim, where are you?
Oh,
Holy Jim!
Jim.
Right. So. Yeah, you think? I mean, that's a great story. Like, you get to the bar that night, you're like, guess what I did? I beat off a mountain lion with my bike.
I just saw two people using a bicycle as a weapon.
So, you think you win, and then you don't.
Oh, God.
Lion always comes back to bite you.
Yeah. So, well, I think we're about that time, right?
That's fine. We can do that.
No, we are. I mean, like we're literally at.
Oh, did you have the story that I sent you, or do you have a different story for the end? Did you that guy with no legs? Did you remember? You read that story?
I did. I didn't. I don't have that one.
No, that's fine. But we can just recap real quick. A dude who lost his legs ended up climbing Mount Everest.
Right. Well, I know we talked about that
using a ladder. So he would like throw the ladder up, climb up the ladder, get to the top, throw the ladder up again, climb up the ladder. Did this all the way to the top of Mount Everest without legs, using a stinking ladder. And you wonder about the stuff that we don't do because I'm too tired. I'm too lazy to do this. I don't want to do that today.
Yeah.
I don't feel like doing that.
I can't wipe the steam off my glasses.
This dude climbed Mount Everest with a ladder with no legs.
Oh,
Holy
God.
crap, right?
It reminds me, I saw someone post about. I just saw like the photo and like a paragraph, but it was a kid playing baseball with just like with no lower body on like and he's like cracks the ball, like he's got good like
Really?
a good swing. Yeah, he just had no lower body. But this article is it's a special guy to the show, JJ Watt. He's generally going to be behind inspirational stories. But the headline is...
We're going to start calling inspirational stories J.J. Watts.
Yeah. J.J. Watt is paying for the funerals of all the Santa Fe high school shooting victims.
Which is a week tomorrow.
Yeah. So Watt has been active in his community since he was drafted by Houston in 2011. Most notably, he started a fundraiser in August that raised more than $37 million for those affected by the flooding from Hurricane Harvey. Jeez. Watt's gesture comes several months after he was named the 2017 Walter Payton Man of the Year. This award is about the inherent good that lies within humanity, Watt said in February. It's about the city of Houston and its ability to overcome adversity at a time when it all seemed lost. It is about the hundreds and thousands of people from all over the country and all over the world who donated to a city that they may never have been to people that they may never have met. And this is just another situation of his humanity by paying for all
right.
the is it 20? How many?
I don't remember the exact number that were killed. I thought maybe it was like 10 or 12 that were killed. I don't know the exact number.
Oh, no, there was like 20.
Injured all total.
Yeah, but
I know.
Yeah, just a...
Yeah, so he reached out to the school and said he wanted to pay for all the funerals, and it just another classy move from a really classy individual. It's not necessarily about raising millions of dollars or being able to have the amount of money to do something like that. It can be as simple as just being respectful to someone who might have differing thoughts than you.
Yep.
I mean, that's just as a human as an act as what JJ Watt's able to do with his platform and his money. It's that simple. It can be that simple, just being a human and allowing someone else who has a different opinion than you do or a different thought on something, just to be able to speak that in a civil manner and be able to have some discourse about it. That's all it is. I mean, that could be just as human, just as powerful too. It's really frustrating, and I'm getting more frustrated with each new school shooting. That I'm just more and more convinced nothing's going to change, nothing's going to happen with the individuals in charge in our country on both sides of the parties. It just doesn't matter. The only thing that gives me some kind of encouragement and hope is on Tuesday nights when I'm with my youth group and I hear these kids that are 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16 years old, and some of the things they think and the way they look at society and other people, and there's some encouragement there, and you see what kids are trying to do in their schools to make a difference. But it's so hard when the adults seem to always keep getting in the way.
Well,
makes
that
it hard.
and the norm that they have to see.
Right.
You would hope that as much as, and I'm guilty of it too, we complain or take. No, that's what I was going to say. Take shots. It's a horrible. That's not really what I meant at all. But at our youth.
Yeah.
And how they're lazy and entitled and all that's that. Well, you know what?
There's some lazy entitled adults in our country,
we need to start providing a better example,
Right.
and I think that with
100%.
what kids have been doing as a result
Yep.
of
Yep.
these shootings that have been happening, there's a lot of activity happening,
Right.
and I really believe honestly that I bet that there will be more voters in this next election than ever.
before. Yeah.
I hope.
Wouldn't be surprised.
I hope.
Would not be surprised at all. So that's the end of episode number 37. It's called Senator Biscuit. This is the AFDE show of Baticola Ferrari. Discuss everything. He's Jason Ferrari. I'm Matt Baticola. Thanks for listening. Remember, you can connect with us on social media at AFDE Show, Facebook.com/AFDE Show. AFDE Show at gmail.com is the way you can email us. Big thanks to our sponsors, Will's Northwoods Inn. Check them out at willsnorthwoodsinn.com. 3030 North Racine, right there in the heart of South Lakeview. As well as our presenting sponsor, Mickey Finn's Brewery. They are at 345 North Milwaukee Avenue in beautiful and downtown historic Libertyville, Illinois' oldest and original brew pub. Great food, great beer and good people, live entertainment every Friday and Saturday night. Check them out at MickeyFinnsBrewery.com. So for Jason and for Finns and for Wills, I'm Matt. Thank you for listening to episode number 37, Senator Biscuit. Life short, be kind to one another, and maybe try a new tactic. Maybe be open-minded and have a conversation with someone who might look different than you or have different thoughts than you do, and see what kind of change that can bring about. We'll talk to you next time. Episode 37, Senator Biscuit, in the books.